What's going on, Jerome's made to Friday, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. He sees you when you're pooping. That's right. So your Vikings headed across the pond last night. They landed Friday morning, London time, but I don't know, like midnight-ish Central Time, the only time zone that matters. Vikings, so they're going to try their best not to acclimate to the time over there, hence heading out on a Friday versus, some teams have tried different things, right? So the Vikings have done this Friday to Sunday thing, and so some teams have gone out there for a full week trying to acclimate to the time zone, but then if you do that, then you have to acclimate back. But I trust Kevin O'Connell, I trust the training staff, I trust health and wellness, all of the assistants, so they're good to go. And also, they're flying out in style. Love it, man. Just like I dream of the day, those international flights. Just like you're getting the the pod where you can have a full lay down, maybe two people at the same time. I don't know. I have dreams. Got dreams, man. But headed over to London. Also, I've been watching All or Nothing, and on a couple of the seasons, there's a London game, like the Rams game, and they tried to make it so that nothing was disrupted. So they brought in their own food. They brought in their own water. I mean, it's England, right? But it doesn't matter. But the Vikings got to get things done. Also getting things done this month is slinging Sam Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback. He is the September NFC Offensive Player of the Month, leading the league in touchdowns with 11, posting a 118.9 quarterback rating, which is good, completing 69% of his passes if you round up. And here's the whole thing about Darnold. Everything that he's doing, like, it's not like there isn't like just like an insane moment, right? Everything that he's doing, like even the impressive dots, like the 97-yard touchdown to Jefferson against the Niners, the dot on Jefferson, the back shoulder against Green Bay, everything that he's doing seems like it's within his realm of possibilities, right? It doesn't seem like he's possessed by the ghost of Joe Montana, who's still alive. So I don't know. But also, he's not seeing ghosts, knocking on all the wood. Those knock against him. Of course, if you had to play behind that Jets offensive line for the time that he did, of course, you'd see ghosts too, man. Who afraid to know ghosts? But obviously, it's 1 month. We're at the quarter mark of the season, essentially. I missed the 16-game season because everything was so easy. 4 games. But everything that he's doing, he can keep on doing. And, I know that it's early, but getting that 200-1 on slinging Sam Darnold as MVP, woo! Come on, baby. That's right. And since it was Samtober, it is time for Samtober. That's right, man. That's right. Also, talking about Sam Darnold's future. And as these games go along, like, the question has to be asked, because you did draft J.J. McCarthy, number 10 overall, the highest drafted quarterback in team history. But, I mean, Darnold's only going to be 28 in June. And he's exactly, right now, what you've been looking for. Like a young franchise quarterback who works extremely well with the weapons of Kevin O'Connell. So what do? Right, but Bill Belichick has a couple thoughts on the thing. Purple Persuasion. Belichick, appearing the other day on McAfee, says that it's still likely J.J. McCarthy's team next year unless Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl for the Vikings. Quote, I think it would definitely change things if it were to happen. Well, how much would it change your fandom, right, if and when the Vikings win the Super Bowl? Just like, does it feel like a weight off your shoulder? Does it feel like this is nice, let's do it again? Out there, middle of February, Super Bowl parade right through downtown Minneapolis. Woo! Good times, man. Can't wait. That's what happened with Brady, taking over for Drew Bledsoe. That's what happened with Kurt Warner and Trent Green. When your quarterback takes you to the Super Bowl championship, what else do you want them to do? Just fair. That's a pretty big commitment to make. I don't know all the details. That's certainly an internal decision, and they've done an excellent job of putting that team together. Having 2 quarterbacks is a lot better than having none. We all know that. And also, so, Kevin O'Connell was only in New England for a hot second, right, 3rd-round pick in 2008, but you could tell, like, the way that Belichick talks about Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings, like, you can tell he's got a lot of respect for KOC. Yeah, obviously has a ton of respect for Flores, who came up through the Patriots organization. And it's really cool to see. Yeah. And like, it's a good problem to have. And we said that this is Darnold playing his way into potentially an extension here with the Vikings. I understand that they have a ton of cap space next year. I understand that it would be nice to have McCarthy's rookie deal as your starter so you can put all that monies elsewhere. But things change, man. And we'll see. Like, the best possible scenario is Darnold making a tough decision for the Vikings this offseason. Injury report on Thursday. So the Vikings had sort of a mini practice / walkthrough on Thursday before they got on the planes. And Caleb Evans back from being down with the sickness. Josh Oliver and Brandon Powell stayed limited with a wrist and chest, respectively. Ivan Pace Jr. returned to full, which is a good sign as he looks to get back from his ankle injury suffered 2 weeks ago. And he'll be flying around a million miles an hour. Like, you know that Pace on the sideline just watching the Vikings kick some ass, and he's just like, gotta get out there. So look out, Aaron Rodgers, right? And also the Camu stepped in very nicely for Pace in the interim. Also Darnold's full, so he's gonna be good to go. Couple roster moves. So the Vikings have elevated Robert Tonyan each of the last 2 weeks after Nick Muse went down with an injury, and they had to elevate him. So they did that, and they released Myles Gaskin. Gaskin's going to go back to the practice squad. So it's just a reshuffling because you can elevate a player 3 times before he's subject to waivers. So the Vikings just getting ahead of things in that regard. And I'm sure they'll call up Gaskin to be the third running back on Sunday against the Jets. So Tonyan probably going to get a little bit more work. They're getting ahead of things since he'll probably be up for the Lions game as well. Since I'm still going to say that Hockenson is back for the Rams game, but also so his 21-day window expires on the 24th. I could see them adding him to the 53, not playing him, but then having him ready for the Colts game week 9, which is fine. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe you don't want to roll him out there his first game against Dirty Kirby Joseph. Like, the storylines just write themselves, man. So there you go. So Vikings getting ahead of things with Tonyan because he's probably going to be up for the next couple games anyway. Next. This is so great. Like, Harrison looks like he's in Fight Club. Oh, don't talk about it. Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Kirk Gershman. Can we also talk about Harrison Smith, 35, who he says 35 like 35 is old, who somehow took a cleat to the bridge of the nose last weekend at Lambeau, opened up a gash, and left him with a shiner as well. Football guy. How does that work, though? I was wondering. So, back in the day, you used to always see, like, middle linebackers, like the nose split, like talk about Scott Studwell, Bill Romanowski, Mike Singletary type guys, just that nose just gets mushed up. But a cleat? How does a cleat get in there? Like, I feel like it, unless it was like the toe, because the heel ain't getting in there in terms of the face mask that Harrison wears. But I don't know, either way, it looks kind of badass, not gonna lie. And I'm not saying that there should be like more blood in football because there's plenty, but I don't know, like maybe there's some pro wrestling blood, or maybe this is like Nate Diaz. Like, you ever seen Nate Diaz fight? Well, not recently, but he's got so much scar tissue up around his eyebrows that anytime like he gets hit by a stiff wind, it just bleeds. I don't know. Either way, looking badass. Something that's not looking badass is, so Pro Football Focus, sometimes friends, sometimes enemies of the Vikings. So they did up their all-pro defense for the first quarter of the season. Or all-pro offense also did not have any Vikings, including no Justin Jefferson. But so obviously this just their highest graded player from each position, right? So studs all around here. So Hutch, Watt, Hayward, Dex, Werner, Quincy Williams, the other one, Quinn Williams' brother, Christian Benford. Sure. DJ Reed, who we'll see this weekend. Xavier McKinney, who's got like 5 billion interceptions. One of them wasn't real. Deshaun Elliott, as well as Marlon Humphrey. So there you go. But I noticed a severe lack of purple outside of Humphrey, who's the wrong shade of purple. Now, I was told reliably that the Vikings are doing pretty damn good. Again, from PFF, 17 sacks, leaders, 94 pressures, tied with the Lions for leading, as well as 8 interceptions. Packers actually have 7, but who's counting there? Yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. I feel like screw Purple Haze. The Vikings defense is now the Rodney Dangerfield defense because ain't getting no respect. Because I understand it's just an amalgamation of grades, but how can you look at Jonathan Grenard's performances, especially all the pressures he gets? He got home against his former team, the Texans. Or, hey, how about Andrew Van Ginkel? Always making plays, always coming up with stuff. Blake Cashman is playing like a freaking madman out there. I don't know, man. Like, how do you look at this defense and be like, there's not a single all-pro out there? Okay. Speaking of rankings, so this one, so I understand like the Vikings don't get respect at the time of day, and I accept that. And occasionally we like pointing things out because it's always good to hold the national media accountable. I'm like the ombudsman when it comes to that. But some of this quarterback rank from Dan Pizzuta is honestly either it's a troll or this person should never be allowed to write about sports again. Now, I'm all for free speech in sports, but I don't know, man. So quarterback rankings week 5. So this is before Thursday Night Football, but Mahomes, Allen, Jackson. Allen Jackson. Chattahoochee. There you go. Stafford at 4. I understand Stafford's fighting the good fight. Matthew Stafford ain't 4 right now. Stroud, respect. Prescott, no. Herbert's dinged up. Burrow, hot and cold. Gino played really damn good against the Lions, man. I got to respect that. Kyler, hot and cold. Jordan Love had like one good quarter of football. Purdy should be higher, frankly. Rodgers? How? Hey, you scored 9 points against the Broncos at home. How? Jared Goff, congratulations on your little baby completions. Jalen Hurts, ass. Jaden Daniels. How is Jaden Daniels 16? How can you say with a straight face right now that Murray, Love, Rodgers, and Hurts are playing better than Jaden Daniels? Come on, man. Baker, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has completely regressed. Like he peaked in college. He's Van Wilder, man. And then you have 8, and then you have 19, slinging Sam Darnold. How? Beyond just looking at the box score and looking at stats, how can you with a straight face watch these games and be like, hey, you know who's been playing better than Sam Darnold? Trevor Lawrence. Hey, you know who's playing better than Sam Darnold? Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff or Aaron Rodgers or Dak Prescott or Stafford, except Stafford has mitigating circumstances. How is that? It's just really frustrating. It's just frustrating, man. But so is life. Yeah. All right, so the Vikings played one game in New Jersey, at MetLife Stadium. Put the bank thing on the Giants, 28-6. Doug Clawson, beat writer for the Giants. The Vikings have more touchdowns at MetLife Stadium this year, 4, than the Jets, 3, and the Giants combined. How's it? It's been like 2 years since Daniel Jones has thrown a touchdown at home. How is that even possible? I feel like I know the passing numbers are down, except I feel like you accidentally throw a touchdown, right? It's like the ACTs. Don't you get a certain number of points just for writing your name and showing up? I don't know, but it's like 2022 when the Vikings won the AFC East. It's good times. What we're gonna do again? But it's all right. Over in London, revenge game. Kevin O'Connell slinging Sam Darnold. Pettin, everyone, adding another chapter to the dumbest rivalry in sports history, and Aaron Rodgers, peas a little in British. Not a main, or something like that. Bruv. But that's it. Happy Friday. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skull production value.